Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Fairmount Heights work session and town meeting combined. Today is December 10th, 2024. I see we have some familiar faces in the building. Welcome. I'm calling to order this meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Mayor Stewart.
Present.
Vice Chairman Barnhart. Present, but won't go way into the town meeting. Councilmember St. John.
Present.
Councilmember Lutford. Councilmember Oscar.
Present, on my way.
Councilmember Downing.
Present.
Councilmember Waiter.
Present.
Thank you. So we have a full council. Everyone's accounted for with the exception of Lethbridge. Meeting rules. So, well, that's one of our rules. Please silence your cell phones when you're in the town hall. And if you would like to speak during citizens' participation, you will only be given 3 minutes to do so. Okay. Are there any amendments to the agenda that need to be made? Council? No noted. Okay. All right. I will accept the motion to adopt this agenda.
So moved.
Can I get a second? All right. All in favor? Aye. All right, the agenda has been adopted. You had to resort back to your old days, huh? All right, so we have 2 sets of meeting minutes to approve. They were sent out on November 15th. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? All right, so I will accept the motion to approve September 10th work session meetings and September 18th town meeting minutes.
All right, I move that we approve the meeting minutes for the town work session on September 10th and the town meeting on September 18th.
Can I get a second? All in favor? Aye. Those meeting minutes have been approved. Thank you, Council. All right, so today we have Mr. Robinson from the 207 Coalition, and he's going to give a brief presentation, 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Robinson, please, about the MOU that we are looking to, I guess, go into agreement with the other municipalities, which is Sea Pleasant and Fairmount Heights. All right, Mr. Robinson, you have the floor. They said they can't hear online.
That's because I was muted.
All right.
Is it good now?
We can hear you, but your presentation is not. Mr. Gray, can you turn it, whatever yours is, the echo? Okay. Thank you. All right.
Can y'all turn the volume up? I can barely hear you.
Okay, 1 second, Councilwoman Barnhart.
All right, so we just need to test it with this volume. I'm muted, so I know all that. This all belongs to us, but we're not controlling it anymore. We gave you all Mr. Grayson.
Give us 1 second. We're trying to correct the audio issue.
Right there with you. Just the mic. Sound on?
All right. to, yeah.
Who's that?
This right here is the audio, which is off now. This right here is the volume, which is not here. There's no audio.
Testing, 1, 2, testing. Can you hear us online? Testing, 1, 2. Can you hear us online? Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear us online?
I wasn't muted, so you could hear me speak.
Mr. Gray, is there any way you can turn your audio down a little?
Yeah.
It's the echo.
It's going to turn the mics down.
Okay, that's fine. Just a little bit. And then we can turn the microphone on this thing, right? Up a little bit, because they can't hear us online.
I know.
Because he's moving. You were going to take the room. Yeah. So you need to unmute.
Okay, this one's on.
See,
He has two, and then that one's, he's unmuted on both of them. All right, can you hear us now, Vice Chair?
1, 2, 1, 2, mic check. Can you hear me? Online.
Now, I cut myself.
Yes, that sounds better.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Robinson?
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Marcus Robinson. I am with the Local Initiative Support Corporation, or LISC. I thank you all for the invitation today for reviewing the program plan for collaboration of the 3 incorporated municipalities of 20743. So today I just want to cover briefly the proposed program plan, the associated budget, and the MOU in order to build consensus for the program plan and around shared resources. Just going to take I'm going to speed through a context a little bit just to catch everyone up to speed on the convening that's been happening since near the beginning of 2024 and get us all on the same page so that we can begin building toward the future together. So a little bit of context and grounding. So LISC is what's known as a CDFI. It's basically if a nonprofit and a bank had a baby, and we believe that neighborhood leaders such as you all and local organizations best understand the assets and needs of their communities. So we've been operating in DC for about 43 years. In the last 3 or 4 years, we recently got involved in Prince George's County, focused on 3 main buckets around convening, such as the 20743 Coalition, which I will speak about, place-focused equitable development, and housing, such as the HIP microgrid project that we put a $2 million construction loan into. And our very own Doris Sarumi is very excited about that and has been big in leading that initiative with you getting the walkthroughs. I'm also joined today with the Capital Market, which is one of our main convening partners in the Blue Line Corridor. I'm joined here by Brittany Drakeford and Kyle Reeder.
Welcome.
So just to get a little bit into some of our recent accomplishments in the Blue Line Corridor, the Fairmount Heights, the HIP project, but then also, the Capitol Heights food drives, the Sunday food drives have been happening every week on Sundays. And that started during our 20743 convenings. We also have other big wins such as Seat Pleasant, Imagine Seat Pleasant, Capitol Heights, the Chambers Avenues, vacant land plots, some technical assistance panels, and as well as a joint back to school fair that also took place earlier in the year. So just to catch up a little bit with the 20743, we had a convening in May where we discussed shared values and collaboration, a July convening where we discussed shared goals, brainstorming and voting on those goals, and then reaching a final hurdle of how do we resource some of the shared goals that we brainstormed together? How do we actually put them into practice? And so that is today why I'm going to be presenting the program plan and the associated budget and the MOU for that as well. I'm just going to skip the slide for the sake of time. But essentially, just what it's saying is how we got to the program plan, which is a July brainstorming meeting, some of the Blue Line sector plan, and then some LISC surveyed community goals and priorities. So to understand exactly what the 20743 Coalition is, we have another parallel initiative. Actually, I'm going to skip this slide just for the sake of time. This can be.
You don't have to rush, but take your time, but get us the keynotes.
Right. Okay, so our fiscal year 26 program plan, I'm just going to, the microphone, the camera, just so everyone can see, this is the program plan. I did not get to get many copies printed today, but I do have a virtual copy shown here that I just want to quickly give the structure on. It just goes through areas of activity around storytelling, placemaking, and joint advocacy efforts that the 3 incorporated municipalities of 20743 can go in. Also, it has an associated timeline for some of these goals, budget, and then the sources and means for which that we are proposing to actually fund the initiatives. The key highlights from it, I'm not going to go through this entire document for the sake of time. I'm just going to go through some of the youth so for as far as like youth programming for it goes, Councilmember St. John has been very engaged in trying to get some youth engagement going for the 20743 corridor. Mr. Rumi talking about the vacant plot activations. We have that. We made sure to incorporate that in our program plan, as well as municipal-led engagement, and Councilmember Downing talking about advocating for shared goals such as pedestrian safety plan. We made sure to implement that in our program plan as well. As far as resourcing goes, LISC has a pot of dollars currently committing $174,000 to various joint efforts for the 20743 coalitions from state, county, as well as private dollars from Greater Washington Community Foundation. And our ask in the MOU, before I kind of dive into the memo in just a brief second, if we're just asking if municipalities would be willing to put 0.1% of their operating budgets to joint activities. So it would be operating budget times 0.001, and that is how we get to the figure of the municipal ask. So codifying collaboration. So now actually getting into the MOU. When it came to the MOU, we had a few stumbling blocks that we got to, and that was, what are shared resources? How much is each municipality being requested to financially contribute, which I just went over? And then should this not be explicitly defined in the MOU? And then what are the financial resources being used for, as well as what is the term or length of the MOU? So just go through number 1. I suppose I don't have that printed out, but I'll just go through the associated MOU memo here. So this is the MOU document, and we created just a small memo to kind of help walk us through some of these steps. So the first one, what are shared resources and how do we define them in the MOU? Essentially, we made it so that we define shared resources to cover in-kind support, technical assistance, as well as financial contributions for each member municipality of the 20743 Coalition for our 2026 proposed program plan. Question 2, how much is each municipality being requested to fund, and is this explicitly defined in the MOU? This is one other stumbling block that we came up with while we were, convening the 20743 Coalition. There was a debate a discussion between whether we should have the language in the MOU of a fixed contribution rate, say 0.1% of operating budget, or should the language in the MOU just focus more on, is there, an annual meeting to review how much we fiscally contribute each year to the MOU, so it kind of gets reassessed every December 31st. So these are 2 options that we are putting forward for the municipalities to consider going forward. Question 3, what are the financial resources being used for, and where are the funds being held? So as we do need the resources to go in some central pot, in some third party. We think that would be just the most responsible thing to do, to keep it to or have it held by a third party independent of any of the 3 municipalities. And as LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation, working closely with organizations such as the Capital Market to convene the Blue Line Corridor Coalition, and who have also been helping us convene the 20743 Coalition. They are a nonprofit pursuing their 501c3 And we are suggesting that the capital market can be one of these trusted community partners to kind of drive forward some of these initiatives in the program plan and hold those funds to be used by the municipalities. And then what is the term length of the MOU? There was also some discussion around, do we want a shorter term length or a longer term length? The shorter term length being less than 3 years, which would allow greater flexibility to reassess goals. However, it may limit the ability to implement some longer term projects. Then the second option is longer term MOUs, which are 5 years and above, which provide stability and a longer horizon for planning and execution of shared goals. However, there are challenges around, obviously the flexibility to adapt to any unforeseen changes in plans that may arise. So just for the next steps, we are just wanting the municipalities to consider and let us know if, when it comes to signing an MOU of this nature, kind of what else is needed to complete the MOU, if there are any other considerations that need to be had before we move forward, and then how do we, formally announce any MOU signing and this actual joint collaboration.
Okay, so our takeaway from this is to get our council to agree to sign the MOU
Yes.
and to commit to the 0.1%.
It would be 0.1% of operating budgets.
And I think he told us it was like $1,200 for the town of Fairmount Heights?
So for the town of Fairmount Heights, yes, that would be roughly $1,200 annually for the implementation of various program plan activities.
And I think you were speaking a little fast when you said, where would this money be kept?
We were thinking that we suggested it be held in a kind of an independent third-party community-led organization, a nonprofit, and we propose that that organization be the capital market, as they are the co-conveners of the 207 for 3 Coalition, as well as the Blue Line Corridor Coalition.
Okay. And when do we need the MOU approved by the town?
So keeping things aligned with how the 3 municipalities do their budgeting seasons and approve those budgets, we think that it would be best to have those MOUs discussed in December to be signed in January.
Okay. Did you have a question, Councilwoman? Go ahead, Councilwoman.
I just want to make sure you also don't get the term. We also need to discuss it.
I think he said 1 year, right? The term was 1 year?
So the term, as far as the term goes, we have options for terms of shorter, which are less than 3 years, and then ones for longer term, which is 5 years.
Okay, so the term we discussed was 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years or less. We could say settle on 3 years, for a shorter term MOU, and then a longer term MOU we would commit to a 5-year plan.
And just so everybody's clear, the benefits of going in this MOU with the tri-municipality, what are some of the perks of this MOU?
Yeah, so the perks of the MOU, when we're looking at bigger municipalities such as Bowie, Hyattsville, right, they have these massive budgets, so they can kind of advocate for what they want. They can put the dollars behind it. Comparatively, the 3 municipalities of 20743 are smaller, but together, when you kind of add the population sizes, but then also the municipal budgets annually, you become a much more powerful block to advocate for shared resources and what you want to see in your communities than you are apart.
And will this MOU be applying for grants?
Yeah, so within the MOU, one of the strategies that we have is actually wanting to see the 207 for 3 Coalition come up with have a shared grant writer, so that they can have one person going for these grants, kind of to spearhead these, going after these funds to implement some of the program plan that LISC hasn't thus yet been able to put funds toward certain strategies in it.
Okay, and this is my last question. I saw with the vacant lot thing, how would that benefit the town with the vacant lot program?
Yeah, so the vacant lots would allow you to take in, the strategy is to take inventory of all the vacant lots that are held by municipally owned land, private land, the state and county. So it would kind of give you a long-term strategy of what these things could be used for, mapping out, what assets could go where. But then it also allows you to have some power to ultimately say what kind of businesses that you want in your neighborhoods and your communities, to kind of inform, what the future looks like.
Okay. Does anyone else on the council have any questions? Go ahead, Councilman Dow.
I know that there are other municipalities that have formed a group, like the port cities.
Yes.
I was just wondering, did you all check with them to see if they have an established MOU?
Yes. Some of the cities over in like Mount Rainier, Brentwood, North Brentwood, they have what's called I'm kind of blanking on the name a little bit. It's called the Gateway Development Authority of Prince George's County. Yeah, they do have an MOU that they actually signed, and it's in state legislature. How it actually that operates and how it kind of functions within higher levels of governance. But yes, they do have established MOUs that they went into together.
Do you know if that's accessible on the web?
I think the legislation is accessible on the web. I'm not sure whether the MOUs themselves are on the web.
I'll check it out. I just know that the port cities are working well together.
Yes.
They're collaborating and pooling their resources because they too are small municipalities.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, if it's 0.01 of a budget, it looks like Sea Pleasant is going to be the heavy puller. Do you know how much they will be contributing?
So all the municipalities would be putting toward the same 0.1% of their budgets. It would be more for Seat Pleasant as far as like a actual monetary amount goes, because they have a larger operating budget, and we thought that was the more equitable way to go about it, such as a flat rate where if everyone put in the same amount of money in actual dollars, then smaller municipalities in the coalition would have a much heavier burden comparatively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They discussed that before, and I was just wondering, had you all reached a dollar amount? Like, do you know how much their budget is? Because we're about $1 million. That's why we were $1,200.
Yeah. This is you can find the exact numbers online.
Okay.
I think it's about 20.
Well, so if I may, Bree, I apologize.
Yeah.
And introduce yourself, my
Yeah,
powerful
Brittany
lady.
Brittany Draper for the record, with the capital market. So as far as the percentage, right, so the idea would be that it would be a 0.1% of budget. And because it is a percentage base, it would vary based off of whatever the operating budget is from year to year. So I don't want to necessarily be fixed on what the number might be for the city of Seat Pleasant for this year, as it might adjust and change as the budgets also adjust and change as well.
Okay, I just wanted like a ballpark, but that's fine. I just know that they're going to be the heavy lifter, and with them having an actual grant writer, they'll definitely be an asset to us.
Yeah.
I think that is all of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions? I know this is kind of new to some of you.
I do have another question there, Martin. I know that we tried this, a Tri-City, and I'm sure you have some valuable wisdom to part on us. Any suggestions for us moving forward?
Well, basically, as I review the whole program, we had talked about this,
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she deserves that seat.
actually, we had attended all of the meetings and with Kyle and with the other members, and we thought it was an excellent idea to move forward because of the fact, the combination of municipalities, knowing that we have a small size municipality, our budget is not that large and the numbers are not that large. And our opportunities would be greater if we move forward into signing this MOU, because it's going to be definitely, any way you look at it, it's going to be to our advantage. Because in all of the meetings, say county level, state level, whenever you go, they say, come together, join together, and make your entities become one. It works. Believe me. So I say, I give it a yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for me.
Okay.
Okay. So the takeaway from this is we need to get this, so currently our attorney is reviewing the MOU. So I would like to wait until he gives us his feedback before I ask the council to vote to accept the MOU.
Yeah, of course.
So I didn't give him a deadline, but I will give him a deadline before the end of this month to get that back to us. There were some issues because he also represents C Pleasant as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to waive the conflict of interest for him to review it. I've done that on my end. I don't know if C Pleasant's done it on theirs. But so as soon as we get back with them, we will be more than happy to go the next step, which is approving the MOU and signing it.
Yeah, thank you. I'll follow up with C Pleasant on that.
Okay. Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes.
Did the new council members have any questions? I'm sorry. The people that just arrived, not new.
No, we heard you. We heard you online. You answered most of the questions that I wanted to ask, so we good.
Councilwoman St. John?
So I'm sorry, that did just remind me of something else. So, because all three municipalities we're having the same discussion, but the outcomes may be different. So as we're agreeing on the term, is that going to be 3 years? So we think it should be 1 year or 5 year. Once we have made our decision to our vote of what we think the MOU should be, what if C Pleasant has a different number, Capitol Heights has a different number? Are we then coming to the table with our signed MOU to then come and agree on one final answer to then sign it again? I just want to make sure I understand that part.
Yeah, there could certainly be, one small round of negotiations to going forward on what exactly the grant term would be. But I think what we discussed previously was not wanting to make a municipality that has, wants to make is a bit more averse to some of the risk that may come to a longer MOU. Just making sure that they're comfortable accommodating them, and then maybe going toward that. Whoever thinks the MOU should be the shortest, kind of going with that, and then assessing next year or the following year, maybe if they're more comfortable, then committing to a longer term MOU.
Okay, so at this point, we're not necessarily signing, but just coming to an agreement that we want to move forward with the MOU.
Yes, and then I think if the municipalities could give kind of their feedback by maybe December 18th, say, on any changes that they want to make to the MOU, or as it relates to any of these options outlined in the memo, or otherwise, I think that would help us kind of get the ball rolling by the time January rolls around for signing.
So we do need to do a motion to,
At least go over that, because that's in 8 days.
yeah, we do need to put a motion on the floor to, Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, I'm sorry, I just wanted to add one more thing as it pertains to the signing. So as Marcus indicated, the idea would be that you all take December for deliberations and discuss with your attorneys for feedback, and then ideally January would be an ideal time for signing, if everything is okay, right? For the commissioners, for the council members who came in, I'm Brittany Drakeford with the Capital Market, supporting Marcus Robinson with List DC. Also, as part of that, we have been, because we think this is a very big deal. I think as we've heard before, right, like these three municipalities coming together and advancing the program plan, and we'll make sure that everybody has a copy of the program plan after this meeting. These strategies that we've been working collaboratively to advance is a big deal. So we also want to make it a big deal, and we have discussions around what would it look like to do a press conference / formal signing, where the three municipalities come together with the media to actually talk about the ways in which the three municipalities are working together to advance economic development and advance strategy in our communities and take back our power in a new way. So once the signing happens, we have an agreement, right, of the terms, we're really excited about amplifying the message and the work that the municipalities are doing, and to really make it the big deal that it is.
It is a big deal, yeah. We're looking forward to it, yeah. All right, well,
And if I could touch base on,
go ahead, Councilwoman Down.
by us having the name, the 20743 Coalition, we're going to bring in Chapel Oaks, Cedar Heights, other unincorporated areas that are going to want to be a partner. So that's what I'm looking for, but we already discussed this, and what we're going to do is get a good foothold with the municipalities, and then to be able to possibly embrace the unincorporated parts.
Thank you.
So can I speak to that for a second?
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Um, that's annexation, or that's a whole nother side with a whole nother delegation, senator, and leadership. We have another on our side, so it's 2 different senators, 6 different delegates, council members. That's how big it gets when you cross over on Sheriff Road.
Are you done, Councilwoman?
Oh, I just had one question though, and because I didn't have, I'm new. Well, I'm not new, but
You knew.
I had not had the opportunity to read the MOU. Sounds good. I've been here before with Mayor Martin. Void and/or cancellation. She sat down. Void and/or cancellation. Is that in there? Should something happen?
So yes, there is a proposed clause for disillusionment, and what would happen if there was a need for the MOU to be dissolved, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we talked about that at the last meeting. We did. And
Okay.
One more.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman Barnhart had something to say, and then I'll come to
To
you.
piggyback, Councilman Waiters, do Cedar Heights even have a municipality or they unincorporated?
All of them are unincorporated, but Cedar Heights would be on our side, so that's Senator Benson.
Okay. Councilwoman Down?
Okay, my question was, I think that by our county council now becoming at large will be a benefit, because she will now support all of us. Am I correct?
I'm sorry, she's now running for county exec.
She's running for county
another
exec.
office, so it's yeah.
She may be running for county, but isn't she currently, hasn't she been?
She is
Voided.
she is in the capacity of at-large, but she's running for the county exec seat now.
But if Rashawn Baker wins, she goes back to being
No.
at
No,
large?
they have to do an
No.
election for that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions, comments for the good of the people? Thank you, Mr. Robinson. We appreciate your presentation. We appreciate Capital Market List for coming to explain this to the council and to the people. We look forward to getting back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank you.
He's a good presenter.
Thank you, guys. It's been a long time coming.
All right, so the next thing on the agenda is the legislation. Under this, we have the RVO resolution. Did everybody get an opportunity to review it? Did you have any comments, questions, concerns? It was sent to you on email. Okay. I'll accept the motion to approve that resolution so that we can go into agreement with the vendor to bring that program to the town.
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Well, I'll go down the line. Councilwoman Downey?
No.
Okay. Councilman Oscar?
I needed some clarity on that.
It's the stop sign program?
Yeah, okay. What streets are we,
Chief can elaborate on the streets, but I think there are 5 locations that you've identified?
Correct, 5 to start, correct.
Right.
practice that?
5 locations. Did you want to step up and give the, well, are we giving that information out just yet?
I was going to talk about it on my report.
Okay, so can you briefly step up and tell us the locations, proposed locations of the stop sign? just the locations, Chief.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
And what does it stand for?
Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry?
And when you get a chance, what does it stand for, Avio?
Avio, I'm not sure exactly what the name, that's just the name of the company, Avio.
Okay.
I didn't bring the printout. The first location is on Veterans Monument and 59th at the four-way stop sign, right where the monument is. That is one of the ones that we had the traffic study done already a few months back. Going further down, Veterans Monument, 60th and 61st. That's where we identified the cut through from Washington, D.C. Anybody coming down Eastern Avenue or coming out of the District of Columbia, that's the main cut through coming down 60th Avenue or 61st Avenue, one of the two. 58th and J, where First Baptist Church of Fairmount Heights. One location is at K and Clove at the bottom of the hill, coming down from off of Eastern Avenue. And then at the ravine, it's two spots on the ravine, at the ravine. Now those are proposed locations. Prior to them taking place, we are going to do another traffic study just to make sure we're getting it right, the high volume of people running stop signs. I'll say this and I'll just wait for my report. This is Tuesday. On Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, there were 36 traffic violations written in the town by my officers. So that's just a heads up, so you'll know.
Okay. Did you have any other questions, Councilman Oscar?
No, but I think I would just appreciate waiting on the second report before I could endorse that.
We're accepting, I mean, we have a motion on the floor.
Well, I'm going to decline that motion tonight.
Questions?
We have a motion on the floor. I asked that were there any comments, questions, or anything you wanted to say before I put the motion on the floor, before the motion was put on the floor. So that was your time to say whatever you needed to say. So now that the motion's on the floor, I'm asking, Councilwoman, who put the motion on the floor? I'm sorry.
I did.
Can you repeat your motion?
You called for a motion for
The approval?
the approval.
So we can't ask any more questions?
Let me explain.
Okay.
Let me explain, okay. There's a motion on the floor, and the motion has been seconded, and we're discussing it. So, Councilmember Oscar, you can, if you don't feel comfortable, you can abstain from voting. But the motion is on the floor, so the mayor calls for the vote.
Okay.
You don't approve, you can abstain.
Okay,
But
I
if
think
she
I'll
gets,
just abstain from that motion right now.
well, hold on, let me explain, because I'm not asking you, the mayor has to call for that.
Okay.
I'm just explaining.
Well, I thought the motion was already in order.
Yeah, what I'm saying is once she's gonna call for a vote, and once she gets the vote, this moves forward. So if you think you need more information, you can say you abstain if you don't feel comfortable.
Right.
But the motion is on the floor.
Roger that.
Okay. So the motion on the floor is to, go ahead, Councilwoman Waiters. Repeat the motion, I should say.
It's to approve the resolution for Avio as a vendor for,
And to move forward with the stop
to
sign
move
program.
forward with the stop sign program, yes.
All right. Councilwoman Downing, your vote.
I abstain.
Abstain. Councilman Oscar.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Waiters.
Aye.
Councilwoman St. John.
Aye.
Councilwoman Barnhart.
Aye.
And my vote is aye. The motion is passed.
Now can I ask a question?
The motion has passed.
But I still want to have questions.
When Chief gets up to do his report, you can ask the questions then.
All right.
Thank you, Councilwoman Waiters. So the drone ordinance, I asked for feedback by last Friday. I only received feedback from one councilwoman, one council person. Thank you for that. It is with the attorney now for review. Once we get that review back from the attorney, I'll move forward with getting that ordinance passed. So moving down the agenda, reports, since you're here, Chief, Police Department.
Good evening again. Let me start my report off with, as of today, we have a total of 36 calls for service in the town of Fairmount Heights. One of the major things that I'm going to talk about tonight is the incidents that have happened in the town the past 6 days, stemming from Black Friday into the next 5 days, where in my 2 years here, it's probably been the most at one time of incidents that have happened. We had a shooting on the 29th at 57th and J Street with one victim. It was one victim who was standing outside smoking, and he observed a dark color SUV parked down from his residence or someone's residence, and he didn't think anything of it. He just saw the vehicle idling down the street. At that time, an individual got out of the vehicle and started shooting at him. They fired 30 rounds, 27 from a .45 caliber handgun, 3 rounds from another handgun. This is a current investigation. We're not sure if that individual fired back or there were 2 shooters. What we do know is it wasn't a random attack. It wasn't just a random attack. He was targeted. It was a targeted attack. There was no robbery attempt. There was no communication. Part of the investigation is showing that if they knew this guy or thought they knew him, they were looking for possibly that individual. That's what the investigation is showing right now. It's still more information to come. The individual was hit 3 times, transported to the hospital, stable condition. One of my officers has talked to him since he's been in the hospital. He was hit once in his leg, once in his butt, and one in his hip. Nothing fatal at all. So the following day, it was a robbery at Hip Hop Chicken and Fish on Sheriff Road. A couple of individuals who targeted that location. As we go back and we look at the videotape, we met with the detectives the next morning after canvassing a little bit to get some video, and the individuals were coming out to take trash out late at night, and they were sitting on the other side of the fence of the Hip Hop on one side and then Mr. Hamilton's property on the other side, waiting for the individuals to come out. You can see them peeping over the fence in the video. As one person came out, they waited, then a second person came out, and then they robbed the individuals. Nobody was harmed. They were pretty shook up, but another targeted attack. One of the safety things we did talk about with them is they need to upgrade their camera system, and I've went to every business that's in the town right now about upgrading their camera systems and alarm systems. After speaking with the detectives, we found out that it was 2 other similar incidents just like that happened in the District of Columbia. Same individuals, same clothing, and a possible vehicle that matches the same. So it looks like that these individuals were just riding around and taking an opportunity when they saw an opportunity. As I remind every citizen here and online that, especially at this time of the year, these robberies go up, way up, and they're crimes of opportunities. I've met with Chief Aziz. I've met with the Chief of C Pleasant. I've met with the Commander of the 6th District, and I've met with the the major of Division 3. And we've met twice since these incidents, and where I requested some additional help in patrols. Now, understand this. It's not going to be a police officer sitting on every corner in Fairmount Heights, Sea Pleasant, Prince George's County or not. But the police department is out working diligently, patrolling the towns, trying to figure out a way to combat the crime, respond to the crime, and be proactive at figuring out how we can go at attacking a lot of these shootings and robberies that are going on. Overall, carjackers are down 30% in Prince George's County and the DMV area, but it's still a lot of crimes of opportunity that are mainly committed by a lot of juveniles. But as you can see on the news every day, no community is without any crime at all. So I just ask everybody to really, really, really be safe and be careful about when you're leaving out of anywhere. I don't care what town you're in, what city you're in. People are looking for opportunities. If your doors are not locked, if you have stuff on the seats of your vehicles. Somebody stole my mother's tags off her car not long ago, and she lives in Hyattsville in a secure building. It happens. So we are actually going to meet with Sea Pleasant tomorrow and Glen Arden's chief as well to try to come up and combat with a few different things. Now, one of the things that we're able to do and help with investigations, one of the incidents caught a tag number from the Hip Hop Chicken. That's how we were able to connect the vehicle with the 2 DC robberies. Different towns and different police departments have technology where they have set up in their towns. They're called license plate readers. They have speed cameras. They have everything that can kind of, if the crime does happen, they can go right back in real time to figure out, hey, we just had a car come down here. Can you check your cameras to see? Now we have a tag number. Now we can start tracking that kind of thing. So one of the other importance about having some of the technology coming through the town, such as stop sign camera, speed camera, red light cameras, you're catching stuff in real time where I can just activate it from a phone or a laptop saying, hey, I got the vehicle you're looking at. It's occupied 3 times. It's a black BMW. Virginia tag ABCD. That goes out immediately. Now everybody in the area can start working together to solve the crime. So this is some of the things that we're doing because Sea Pleasant was able to track that tag. And now we know it's connected. So again, we have to get to the point where here in our town that we are able to have some of these resources that can help. But we do have a great relationship, and this is one of the reasons why I think it's a great idea for Sea Pleasant, Fairmount Heights, and Capitol Heights to combine their resources and this coalition that you guys, because we are already working together on the police side. We have to. We won't survive if we don't. And in order for us to be more proactive, we have to stay ahead of the game in technology and different things like that. We are looking into grants for license plate readers. I know that's going to be something that's going to have to come back before the mayor and the council and the citizens. Everything that we are going to try to use to improve in the town, we know it's going to have to come back for community feedback, you guys' feedback. But me as the chief of this department, I have to bring it to you to tell you this is what's going to work for us and help us combat some of the crime that we have and help us have a better outcome of living. I live in the city of Bowie. Bowie has this stop sign technology, but they also have LPRs. They have them all over. And it helps. I talked to Chief Preston. It helps out a lot. And they have a 60-man, license plate reader. They have a 60-man police department with a K9 and everything else. And they still need help with the technology. So he was just like, Chief, you gotta get on it and get everything you have. You have a small department with a small force. that equipment can help you, can equal to another 2 or 3 men, because they're there. Now people see stuff that, we have things in place, they're not so welcoming to cut through our streets, and they're cutting through, not even hesitating, but they're committing crimes in one way, cutting through, getting to the other way. And because of the way the laws are set up, until we can confirm the actual crime, it's a no chase policy. The policy is you're not chasing a vehicle for a crime unless it's a murder, rape, or robbery. And that has to be confirmed first. So our hands are kind of tied up in a lot of areas, but using technology to move forward will help us tremendously. As I move on, we had a contractor working on a house, and 2 young individuals came into the house while they were working, while one stood outside and one robbed the individuals inside. So 2 young black males, black coats on, one of them had tan pants on, which identified he was a school-age kid in a school uniform. So as they robbed the individuals in the house, because the workers, they're working on the houses, but they're leaving the doors open and they're leaving the garage open. So after that, I went to every house in the town that's being worked on. Close your doors and lock your doors from this point forward. You can't work with an open door like that, because they got music on, they up on the 3rd floor, they have no idea what's going on. I went door to every place that's being worked on in this town. So they have the idea, I gave them the information, they have it. The individuals ran out and ran back across Eastern Avenue. Well, the workers said, well, we're gonna follow you. They followed them over to an apartment complex in DC. We respond over, it's out of our jurisdiction. DC comes though. DC gets there, they go up in the building, they identify 2 units. They peek in, ask is anybody there, doors open, nobody responds. Oh, but nobody responded, so we're not gonna do anything. So they go down to the rental office confirms 2 black males, young underage kids are always in that unit, and DC just raided the house about 2 weeks ago. So them not taking any action, nothing we can do. We knew our suspects were inside of the house, but I did send an email over to the commander of 6D and just letting him know that if this thing is going to work on this border, we have to have cooperation back and forth. I understand that, you know, we can't do anything because we're coming over from the Maryland side, but we can stand by and help till you get more DC guys there that are going to help go in there and get these juveniles. They're juveniles, so I promise you that's not their first robbery, and it's not going to be their last. So by letting them go, they just feel like, I got away again. So that's part of the frustration as well. So we also had an incident where we had another school-age kid, Hispanic male, tampering with vehicles on J and 58th. So I had an individual, as I'm coming around the corner, he stops me and said, I just caught a kid trying to go into a car, and he said, officer, we got the wrestling over on the side, I'm not gonna lie. But then the kid took off down the alley. So dispatch already then dispatches the call, but we're already looking for the kid. So don't find the kid. We go back and start going door to door to get video. We got video of the kid. We got great video of him, everything that he was wearing. So now that video is posted in the office and everybody's computer. If we see this kid with this particular coat on, we know who he is. So now we're gonna check with the, I think it's Golson is the feeder school for this area. And this happened to see, because he looked a little bit bigger, he looked bigger like he's middle school. He's not, he's either middle school, either Golson or Fairmount Heights. So we talked to the SRO, we're gonna send that over to see if they can figure it out. But these are the type of things now. So now it's the holiday time, your cars are open, now they just walking around and feeling the handle. It's a quick grab, and it's no damage, and they can just go. So if you're not locking your doors, then they're gonna be in your trucks, in your cars, to see what they can get. So that happened, happened to another family member at the mall. Lock your doors, take everything off your seats, off the back, especially this time of year. They have individuals, all they do is go from car to car to car to car to car to see if they can get in any car, quick in and out, back in their car onto the next spot. So be mindful of that, please. Again, I've talked to the people at Paul's Liquors, the Ebony Inn, Hip Hop Chicken. I've even had a conversation over at the library as well for them to be mindful about what's going on, because places like that are soft targets where you have people inside. It's an isolated place. No place is off limit from being robbed, including churches. So I'll make a call to the churches that I have numbers to and people I've talked to. They got to be vigilant as far as what goes on, especially in a lot of churches, especially on Sundays, they're doing cash money with collections and stuff like that. A lot of churches that I know of and I've worked for in the past, they usually have an officer there on the premises to avoid just that. So I'm recommending that to them. They may not be in their budget, but just know with that, people are out watching everything that you do. So especially when you're dealing cash. So with that being said, that's in my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, one last thing. Our third annual Coat and Toy Drive is this Saturday downstairs from 3 to 6. We've gotten a great amount of coats and toys donated for our community and our kids. I've gotten the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives to come and provide lunch for the staff who's going to be working and helping to donate as well. And we have some additional volunteers to help fit and distribute coats and toys to the kids of our community. So we'll be out with Shop with a Cop first with a few underprivileged kids, and then we'll be here for the coat drive. So we'll have a full day of community work on Saturday. So that is my report.
Quick question, Chief. Did you need any council support for that event?
It's always welcome. Good to see
What
you.
time should they be here if they do want to help?
I would say at least by 2. I'm going to talk with Mr. Cradle about a setup, but
We already got this established.
yeah. I mean, it's always good to see the council and the mayor if she was here, and other staff to come and support,
Okay, so the chief has opened that invitation for all council members to please come and help support. 2 to what time?
3. Well, 2 to it's over at 6, but I don't expect them to have to stay until 6. It's a Saturday. I don't want to take up most of the day, but I'll have some of my family members here that's going to help with the breakdown as well when we're done, and we can store if we don't give away everything. My goal and hope is that we can give a coat and a toy to every child that comes through that door, and we don't have any left, but sometimes we do. So.
All right, so council, if you're available on Saturday, please come out and support the chief with his annual coat drive. Councilwoman Downey?
Where do you advertise it?
We've given out flyers to everybody in the community. They went out with Public Works. It's on the town website, and it's on the Fairmount Heights Police social media accounts.
And it's all over our social media as well.
Right, correct.
How much is because I love the stoplight camera program. How much is that costing the municipality?
It doesn't cost the municipality anything.
Really?
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, we did a whole presentation at the work session on it.
Yeah, it doesn't cost us
He
anything.
came in and talked to us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, are there any other questions for Chief before he leaves? Okay, thank you, Chief, for your report, as always. Mr. Pinckney, Code Enforcement? Is he?
He's not, Mr. Pinckney's not filling the greatest, but he did submit a report.
Okay, will you present his report? Do you have it? Oh, he have it. All righty. That's yours. There you go, Chief.
Okay, Code Enforcement Report, this is Mr. Pinckney's report. For this period, he has not issued any civil citations. Building permits for this period have not been issued. No building permits have been issued. No business licenses have been issued. Rental license for this period have not been issued. Vacant building registration fees for this period have not, we have not received any vacant building registration fees. Vacant lot registration fees. For this period, we have not received any vacant lot registration fees. Stop work orders have been put up. Are we saying the addresses where we? It's been a stop work order put up at a residence in the town. I guess they were conducting some type of work and didn't get the proper permits. Notice of correction for active citizens. During this period, we have issued 12 corrective action notices for various code violations. Additional information. Reverend Pollard would like the town to approve the location at 5443 Addison Road for a church.
Yes, he did come in, and we had scheduled a meeting to meet with him in person. This wasn't the right format for that.
Okay. And see, it says Mr. Solomon Hamilton is still waiting for a meeting with the town.
Yes.
I see one of his representatives are here tonight.
Yes, Mr. Rumey, can you also schedule that for January? What's the day we meet with the the pastor? We're meeting with the pastor on the 3rd. Can you schedule Mr. Hamilton for 1 o'clock on the 3rd?
And that's going to be it for Mr. Pinkins.
Thank you, Chief. Did anybody have any questions about the code enforcement report? All right, Town Manager, Mr. Rumey? Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members, citizens online, and good evening to our guests. Happy to see former mayors. Thank you for coming. My report for the council, for the most part, I presented it at our work session with the council members. However, I think our citizens need to have an update on some of the important things that we're doing in town, some as mentioned by Liz today. Economic Community Development, the Prince George's County Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors visit the Net Zero Housing Project. That was on November 12, 2024. Remarks were delivered by the board chair, Mr. Jim Chandler. The Redevelopment Authority contributed $1 million for this project. The cost for this project is $5.4 million. You can imagine how many jobs and how many contracts that were awarded. So not only is this benefiting the town, it benefits the coalition, it creates jobs. The United Communities Against Poverty, this has been a long time coming. UCAP held its groundbreaking ceremony on November 19th. The opening ceremony was dedicated to the Sidney Pittman Impact Center, which will be located at the UCAP main campus. The ceremony was followed by the official groundbreaking ceremony for the renovation of the historic Fairmount Heights Elementary School, located at 737 61st Avenue. So this project is about to move forward in terms of renovation. Thank you for the light applause. Net Zero Housing Initiative. Warren Bills is in the final stages of completing the housing unit. And as the gentleman from Liz said, I'm their biggest cheerleader. The microgrid in the historic park will not be completed until sometime in the foreseeable future. The remaining work include the general punch-out list items in the homes, or the chief left, but I really want to thank the chief and Cog Hill. I'm sorry with the phone, but my son is on critical, so. Let me call you back. I explained to the mayor My son went to the hospital, and I just want you to know, okay? So-
I'll let the council.
Oh, okay, good, okay. Okay, so I was talking about the main work to be done. Final water, sewer lines, utility work in the streets being done. Install public sidewalks, begun to repair the street in front of the homes, and replace the speed humps that were distributed during construction. Note, HIP anticipates receiving the community solar shed panel at the end of this week, so any permits. Home sales, again, this benefits the coalition. There are currently 120 people on the interest list for the net zero homes. Now, the kicker is the qualifications. To qualify, you must be, number one, first-time home buyer. You must earn, I got 89, should be 80%, that's a typo, should be 80% or less of the area median income, or AMI, based on household size. You must qualify for a mortgage of $375,000. And you must complete the Housing Initiative Partnership education classes. And I put a note here. HIP encourages interested purchasers to utilize the county's pathway to purchase down payment and closing costs. So there are all kinds of resources available to help you qualify and to move into these houses. A report from the DOT tree planting and maintenance, I have nothing new. I'm happy that they did, Mayor Martin, they did replace the tree at the Market Circle, and they did remove the pooper scooper, okay? So I'm happy about that. The Green Team. Before I move forward with the Green Team, this gentleman, I know he's here on behalf of Mr. Hamilton, but he came to me and volunteered to be a new member of the Green Team. Yeah, I didn't get your name. You have a card, didn't have your name.
My name is Wayne. It's a K.
Pardon me?
K was my partner, but I had,
Okay. He's very much interested in our green works in our community garden, and especially the greenhouses, and welcome. Okay, the Green Team, Sustainable Maryland, on November 7th. I know I presented this to the council before, but Mayor Martin, North Mayor Saxton, we've worked for years to obtain this. So on November 7th, the town was awarded the Sustainable Maryland Bronze certification. So we only need 175 more points, then we will qualify for the gold. The Green Team earned and was awarded 225 points. Councilmember St. John, thank you again for attending the MML Fall Ceremony. 2 members joined the team. We have 3 members. Former council member Jacqueline Morgan and Public Works staff Marvis Harris. The team, we will not meet in December. We will not have a meeting in December because of the holiday. Okay, on November 9th, I came right back from MML, and I had started writing a grant before I left. On November 9th, I submitted a grant application to Sustainable Maryland for $20,000 to erect 3 greenhouses under 4.4 acres owned by the citizens. 2 houses will be used to plant tree saplings that would be made available to the county and to the citizens, and I did in parentheses because I would have to come back to the council for a minimal fee. The other will be used to grow vegetables, fruits, such as strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. As of this report, I am completing a grant in the range of $60,000 to $100,000. The grant is to be funded through the Chesapeake Bay Trust. Again, with all the work that we are doing, all the green projects that we are doing, and we're getting certainly all the positive press. One member of the trust said, Mr. Rumi, if you can think it, I can fund it. So I'll be getting some new ideas from you as well. The funding will be used to maintain, to reserve, and to train staff and citizens in the care of the 160 trees planted by DOE. And we will have part 3 to engage the Hispanic and Latino community. I will be staying here and knocking on doors to really engage the Hispanic population. And the goal is to encourage the Hispanic and Latino, or any population, to take advantage of the county's rain barrel rebate program and to encourage homeowners to replace impervious surfaces such as driveways with pervious surfaces. If you go to many new communities, you will see they no longer put down all that concrete. They put down surface where the water can run off and drain out. And I don't think Mr. Pinckney included this in his report, but I'm in contact, and I did mention it to you at the December 5th meeting. I'm in contact with the owner of 1012 58th Avenue. The house is known as the King Solomon House, built in 1919. Nearly 5 years ago, 55% of all the houses that were on that street were vacant or in disrepair. Today, 3 new houses were built, and the remaining houses were renovated and sold. My plan is to use enlarged pictures and to cover up the 6 boarded up windows with some of the Fairmount Heights pioneers. I got this idea really on Seat Pleasant on I think on Addison Road, going to, or is it Central Avenue, where they use historic figures. Instead of having a boarded up house, they turn it into an art piece. And I scratched my brain to remember, I saw Ralph Ellison's picture there, and he wrote the book, The Invisible Man. I remember having to read that in college. And then I'm going to be working with the Prince George's County Arts Council. Hopefully they would be able to issue us some funding for this project. My aim is to add this site to the Black History Month walking tour. Thank you, Mayor. I remember last year you were here. We had the tour. Thank you. For Black, yeah. So we're starting early in advance so we can get these projects up and running, and so we can have an exciting Black History program. And the last thing, I did receive a request for consideration to have a property added to the Register of Historic Places. I copied you on that, Mayor. Ms. Lynette Stevens, owner of 1957 Place, is requesting to have her property evaluated to determine if it qualifies as a historic site. The request was sent to the Maryland National Capital Planning, Park and Planning Historic Preservation Division. I encourage anyone, if you think your house qualifies, because there's certainly all kinds of tax breaks and funding available if your house is on the register, National Register. There are 2 registers, the National Register for Historic Preservation and then the Prince George's County. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Rooney? I would like to get a picture with former Mayor Saxon and former Mayor Martin with the plaque. You know you was coming to get a picture.
Come on. No, that's okay.
All right. Okay, so you come back in January, please, so we can get a formal picture?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because we would like to put that up. And maybe even put it in our newsletter. Maybe you can get the whole team together.
Right, okay,
Yes.
yeah. Have the whole team come back.
That was a good catch, former Mayor Martin.
Former Mayor Martin, we're gonna do that.
They're gonna come back, they said January.
Take a picture anyway. Mayor Saxon.
Real quick. Where are we gonna do it? Right here?
Oh.
No, this is not for that. It's 4 mayors in the room.
Oh, I see. Okay, something different. Okay.
Look at her get cute. Look at her looking. Mayor Saxon.
We're gonna take the picture.
Chief.
You take it with your phone? You should send it out.
Our communications person right there. I don't care.
There you go, Commissioner. She wants you to do it.
I don't.
All right, here we go. So the younger one.
Right.
You don't need to put,
Don't know what you're gonna do. Get the picture. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you wanna do that? I'm a mayor.
Oh, okay, no.
They might say something funny.
All right, we just go.
Okay. Okay. Look at the shoes. Hey!
All right, so we are moving down the agenda. The treasurer's report. Ms. Walker, are you online?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? Hello?
Ms. Gray, we can't hear Ms. Walker.
Hello?
There you go, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm driving. I can't read anything. I'm going to move it.
Is that her connection or ours?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm driving. I can't read anything. I'm trying to go over the ARPA information that you were texting me about.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to pull up that report for me.
Madam Clerk, can you pull a report up? Madam Clerk, oh, okay. Madam Clerk, can you pull up Susan's ARPA report that she sent to you today? All right, we have the report up,
Okay.
Susan. Ms. Walker.
All right, so the amount
Yes,
at the
we can hear
bottom
you.
that's in red, I believe it's 268,000 some odd dollars. That's the amount that is available as of what, yes, if you slide down, there's a summary at the bottom. That amount, the 268, is what's available, including the contracts that we currently have for the AV equipment as well as the LED sign. There's another amount that I highlighted in blue. Those are purchases that we said we want to make from that $268,000. That includes the vehicles for the public safety, and it includes the Bobcat and the pothole equipment for public works. If we can get those three things under contract before the end of the month, then we can use ARPA funds for that, which I believe that leaves a balance of like $128,000. Is that correct? I can't see the amount. Is that what you're able to see?
128,000. I can't
So what's
see that.
it should be at the bottom.
$159,862.94.
So it's highlighted in yellow at the bottom.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So either one of those two accounts is the amount transferred to the public works and the public safety department. Public safety and public works. So if you look at the 268, is the chief still there?
Chief is not in here, no.
Okay. So Mayor, tonight, can you all approve?
Susan, we can barely understand you. I don't know if it's our audio or yours.
I'm sorry, man. I'm driving. I'm coming from the hospital. I'm trying to help.
It's the echo in here.
What did you say?
Just hold 1 second, Susan. Is the audio in here, is it? Okay. Try it again, Susan.
Okay, so can you hear me?
We can hear you better.
All right. Tonight, my recommendation is that you all approve the amount in red to be transferred or to be used for the amount that's listed there in blue. And if those contracts are not signed, then that whole amount will be used for salary.
Okay. Susan, can I call you from my phone and put you on speaker?
Yes.
Okay. I'm calling you now. Madam Clerk, can you zoom in on the numbers, please? We can't see them here in the hall.
Hello?
Okay, I have you on speaker. So your recommendation tonight is,
The 268, my recommendation is that you all allow that amount to be, how do I want to say this? The 268, the amount that you see highlighted in blue underneath of that, you all approve those purchases contingent on the fact that those contracts have to be signed by the end of this month. If they're not signed, then that full amount will be transferred to Public Works and Public Safety for salaries.
okay, so you're asking,
It's going to be the 268 or the amount that's in yellow. Either the red amount or the yellow amount will end up being salaries.
okay,
And both departments have expressed needing additional personnel.
okay, so I understand you. The amount in red, which is, can anybody see that? Madam Clerk, can you zoom in a little more, please? Is it the 266 or 268?
So the two amounts in red are the same. I just did a summary towards the bottom just to make it a little easier with a little less information.
But we need the part at the top, Madam Clerk. The part that's in blue. And then scroll over some. Okay. So we need to reallocate 268, is that 652.54.
Yes. And then the way that is to be spent, for what we've talked about, would be vehicles for the public works, for public safety, and then that equipment that's to the right for public works, the pothole equipment and the Bobcat. If those items can be encumbered by the end of this month, then we will purchase them. If not, that entire 268 will go to salaries. If we get those contracts, then what's at the bottom in yellow needs to go to salaries.
Okay,
So it's those two amounts.
all right.
Okay?
Everybody understands that? Okay,
So we need to, encumber means to allocate those
reallocate.
three amounts.
Encumber means we have to have contracts signed
Right,
Before the end of this month.
for
Right.
the two vehicles for public safety, the Bobcat, and the pothole equipment. Otherwise, the entire 260, whatever that is, will go to salaries. If we get that equipment, then the remaining amount, $120-some thousand, will go to salaries. So either way, you all will be approving tonight that the remaining ARPA funds will be used for and then list that equipment and or salaries.
You tracking? Okay. All right. Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Mayor.
Bye-bye. All right, so we have that information from Susan, so let's move down the agenda to, sorry, let me get my
You want us
glasses.
to put a motion in?
We will, once we get under the ARPA. So now, under unfinished, we'll come back if it pleases the council to our council reports. Let's get this all out of the way. So under unfinished business, under ARPA, I'll accept a motion based off of what Susan just said. Would anybody like to put that motion on the floor?
I move that we put a motion on the floor to approve the allocation of the ARPA funds. Is that verbiage good enough? Or I need
Reallocate.
to reallocate those ARPA funds.
Yeah.
second. Oh, I need to say it.
I'm sorry.
She made a motion.
She did. Was that the finish of your
Oh,
motion?
yes.
Okay.
Unless you say
Um,
it was not.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All, we go down the line. Councilwoman Downey?
Love you.
Okay. Councilman Oscar? Aye. Councilwoman Waiters?
Aye.
Councilwoman St. John?
Aye.
Councilwoman Barnhart?
Aye.
Myself, aye. The motion passed. Thank you, council. All right, so now let's go back to mayor and council reports. Councilwoman Downey?
I don't have a
Thank you. Councilman Oscar?
Well, I'm happy to be back from my time out. I really don't have much tonight to share. Really don't have much tonight to share with the community, but I always wanted to highlight some of the most important things that we have going on at the local library for the kids in the community. Some of the things that I think that is noteworthy to mention is the Ready to Read program for the preschoolers. I think that program is particularly great that, you know, it introduces them to learning to read, which is we all know is fundamental as the kids start to grow up and being exposed and having a good foundations to do well at school. There's also the teen zones that keep the students, the teens especially, off the streets during the after school, which is the after school program, and keeps them occupied so that, you know, they won't be going around and causing any kind of distress in the community, especially like the chief said during this time of year. Also, I want to be very supportive with the coat drive this weekend, and I think part of the issues that we have is the lack of participation from the community. We put a lot of effort into these events, and if we could get at least more participation, that would help. That would keep us motivated to do more. But when we don't get a good number showing up, then we don't feel like our efforts are being appreciated. So I appeal to the public, I appeal to the community to, when we have these events, to, you know, all of it are free. I don't see the issue why, you know, we can't have a good turnout. So I appeal to the community again to come to the event on Saturday from 3 to 6. We have gifts and coat for the kids, and adults are also welcome. That's all.
Thank you, Councilmember Oscar. Councilwoman Waiters. Reply.
Council to add, not to add to your report, sir, but I want to help you. I'm a teacher. So going to the library it's good, but it's not enough to get people engaged. So to help you, Chief mentioned the feeder schools. When the flyers go to the homes, people get them and then they don't get them. So in other words, they may read it and put it aside and forget. But each school has a community outreach person, each one, for not just Robert R. Gray, but our schools, not just Robert R. Gray, Fairmount Heights or Gulfston, our schools are Comedy Hills and some of the other schools in the area, because when kids can't go, I work at Sea Pleasant. So the students that come to Sea Pleasant, it's a specialty program, are supposed to go to Robert Gray or some other Comedy Hills or whatever, but they come to us for our specialty programs. We have a community service person there for that. So each school has a person that they pay to reach out to the community to find out, how do I know? Because I got flyers to pass out to my students for coat drive and toys being given away. So you just need to connect with them and they'll be able to help you, because they'll send your information out for you. That's one. The other thing is with these flyers, when you create a flyer, there's a council that you have to send your flyer to for approval for the school to distribute it for you. Then it'll go home in every backpack. And that was for you too, Chief.
Definitely something to consider.
So I'll have, I was Cargill is our community outreach officer. He has the great relationship with the principal. So we'll reach out to her to see how we can get our messages to that council, because there are plenty more things that we want to do with
Well,
those
no,
kids.
it's
Is it the county-wide, or is it?
the council, the general council for the approval, that's the PG County Public Schools.
Okay.
So it'll have to go to them.
Gotcha.
But each school, so in other words, what I'm saying is, you don't have to just go to Robert R. Gray, Golson, and Fairmount Heights.
Right.
Because each one of them has
Each
depending on
one,
what you're
okay.
doing,
Got
you
it.
send that information to them, they'll get it out for you.
Got it.
But the other caveat to it is, if you have something, you don't have to rely on them. You can simply say, we have a code drive, pass it to the council, have them approve it, and they'll send it home. Send it to each school and have them send it out
Got it.
in each backpack.
Thank you.
So it's like two things that'll benefit.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
We know for next year, Chief.
Yep.
So then, go ahead with your report.
Go ahead with my,
Yeah.
they will, if it's approved, yes, they will, yeah. Okay, so with my report, it's a couple of things. I'm gonna do the short part first. Just getting back, and I appreciate being the liaison for the seniors. My heart is for the community. I wanted to share that we did distribute the 15 turkeys. I stopped by First Baptist of Fairmount Heights. There was something else that was going to, all three things that were going on that particular day, I attended those. So as I did, I dropped 10, my first meeting I dropped off 10, and I went back and got those 5. With those 5, since I stopped by First Baptist of Fairmount Heights, I asked if they had anyone, and I thought it proper for them to have the community coming in to feed them on that particular day, to just drop 2 turkeys off. And it was a good thing that I did ask, because the 2 names that came up were members of the community living right there on the same street. So those 5 went out to the community. So we did distribute, Mayor and Council distributed 15 turkeys to the community this year. What else did I have? Turkeys. Autism. I had spoken to the mayor about this, but I wanted, since the chief came back in the room, I don't know what we'd have to do to get this done, but in communities, they have signs that say beware of children playing and beware of a sight impaired person. On my street, I have a student that's autism. So I am a teacher, but I teach 13 students that are nonverbal and they're autistic. That student that lives on my street happens to go to the same school, but as a teacher, I can't. I'm limited to what I can do, in the school, whatever. But I'm saying that to say that I'm just sharing with the community. I'm gonna move out of teacher mode and be a community. It's been on at least 3 occasions that.
Let me look into that tomorrow. I agree wholeheartedly. It should be some type of notification there. And when you said that, it sparked something. I'm on the executive board for the Police Chiefs Association, and we had MVA come in to present to all of the chiefs in the county. MVA gives out a free ID card for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I'm sharing it with you guys because there's nothing required. It doesn't cost anything. You go to MVA and say, I have a disability, and they give you a card, which means that any contact you have with anybody in the public, even for somebody who may, it helps us to identify somebody who may be having a problem communicating that they have a disability, and you're able to get that card for your family members, anybody involved. I have the paperwork, and I'm gonna bring it back, and I think we should also have them here for people in our community who may need them. I have a couple of family members with disabilities, and as soon as I heard that, the next day we went and we helped get them signed up for it. So I'll work on what we need to do for the sign.
Because the young man she's talking about is in elementary school.
I get
You can
it.
get an ID for an elementary school kid?
It's not an ID. It doesn't have a picture on it. It's a card that's issued when you go fill it out. MVA knows that you got the information. There's no picture on it or anything else because they don't want to put pictures on it to embarrass a kid or all of that kind of stuff.
So a kid can get it is what I'm asking.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anybody
We
can
use
get
a
the
lot
card.
of visuals
Right.
with children on the spectrum, so they don't say anything, but they see, and they can tell you that from the picture what they're trying to say, and then they have devices as well. But my concern is safety.
Yeah,
and it's not just for my street, it's for the community.
Yes, yes, yes.
So maybe we should put it out in the community and see how many people would like to have a sign on their street for anybody with any type of disability.
Impairment, yes.
Right.
Yes, that's why
I agree. I like that program.
So then the last thing I want to do is say,
I have a comment about my, I live in a municipality, and,
Mr. Romney, they can't hear you.
Okay, I live in a municipality. I live in Chesapeake Beach. And we have the twin beaches, North Beach and Chesapeake Beach. And what we do, and I'm part of the ethics and another board, what we do is, if there are children at play, we put up signs, hard of hearing in the area. We put up in the district, I saw a sign that says, a deaf person on this block. I mean, simple signs to let people know to slow down. In addition, of course, you can reduce your speed limit. I know in one area where we have children at play, you can only drive 15 miles per hour. So those kinds of, Chief, those kinds of signs, it shouldn't be difficult to get those kinds of signs.
I don't have much information, so I don't want to say it's easy
Right.
or not, but I'll find out tomorrow.
And I'll find out where we get our signs.
Okay.
All right. Madam Clerk, can you put this item on the agenda for January, please?
Yeah.
one last thing real quick.
Okay.
So, my aunt says, a poor frog don't praise his own pond, so green team. I transitioned the green team activities into my classroom. And I already told you guys about the students that I teach, so they're nonverbal, and their lessons are modified, wherein if you have to answer 5 questions, they only answer 2 correctly, but it's getting a response. So we had 3 different social studies, science, and reading projects. So I brought 2 projects, assignments. I brought the 2 social studies and social studies help in science into my reading. And this is how I was able to do it. We had a project wherein, and everybody knows the bean in the paper towel, where paper towel grows. But they wanted hydroponic. But they wanted to talk about hydroponic growing tomatoes. So I know the bean, but I had a hydroponic set at home. So I took it to a transition, took it to school, and I showed them. So the amazement was 3 students had this, and then they had the paper towel one, and so we used the growth method of this and that and measured inches and how it's going to grow. That's one part. The other part was the social studies part, was they had to identify community leaders, understand community leaders and how they work. And then the third part was health and healthy eating. And so this particular learning session was about my community. What was it? I don't forget the title, but it was leaders in the community, and then the topic of the subtopic of the article was, the text was hello community member. So when it said vacant lot, 6, 7-year-old students do not know what a vacant lot is. So we planted the beans in soil. So I took a little bit of the soil out of the pot, put it on glue on a paper, dropped it down in there, took 3 beans and put them on the paper, this is all interactive, letting them do it. And in the end, they had like a little pile of dirt. They made a plot of a cotton ball. They knew that rain comes from the clouds to water plants or whatever, but it started with seed, roots, and soil. I shared this with a team in collaboration today, and I'm not going in depth, but just to say those little things that I've highlighted, they were impressed because, again, I'm 13 nonverbal, but we took 3 lessons and applied them to the 1 reading lesson where they're challenged with reading and being able to respond so that they could visually show that the growth of, and again, that was 4 lessons in one, 4 different subjects in one, but I took the green team method to school to share. So they were impressed. Hydroponics. As soon as I said hydroponics, all the other teachers want to know, what we were doing. So now we're in Seat Pleasant Elementary School. Lastly, Chief, leaders of the community. So I've been a bus operator, and I've showed them my uniform. But I had to show them Seat Pleasant squad car. Because they're always in the school all the time, and that's what they're familiar with. I'm just saying, I had to show them. I was a little offended by that.
Sorry.
But I did. I had
We'll
to.
send our chief and police department.
No, I'm saying it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I showed them that too. I showed them police car. I showed them the buses, and I did show them some other leadership positions too. So I need your picture as the mayor of.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilwoman Williams.
You're welcome.
Councilwoman St. John.
Good evening, everyone. All right, let's get into this report. So, I wanted to start off talking about the 90th anniversary. So, in the last meeting I did disclose that we did have a meeting on November the 14th. However, there was no participation for that particular virtual meeting. So we were going to move that to the following month. However, with it being the holiday, that will just be postponed to January, so we'll reconvene there. But I am still currently working on prospects for the calendar that we want to propose for 2026 as we go into the 90th anniversary year. In addition, I want to talk about the November 23rd, we did the cards for veterans, for troops. So again, kind of to Oscar's point, not much participation there, but myself, Susan, the mayor dropped in for a hot second. Former Mayor Waiters, Councilwoman Waiters was there. We made tons of cards for the troops. It was actually very, very fun. It was cool. We got some footage, so hopefully we can kind of show in advance some of the things that we're doing so people can kind of see what to expect versus just kind of reading a flyer, not knowing what to expect. So trying to put some things together so how we can kind of not just communicate, but make sure people see what we're doing to be engaged in the future. But it was awesome. I think we made over about 50 cards with a very small handful amount of people. And from my understanding, these cards go out kind of all over the place to troops, and we did things like put from council members from the town of Fairmount Heights. My son made a couple of cards as well, so they got cards from kids, cards from officials, cards from just individuals, some cards that were anonymous. So hopefully that made its way to its destination and touched a lot of hearts. But definitely something that was really, really cool to be a part of. Then I wanted to talk about the tree lighting ceremony. So last Saturday, we just had our tree lighting ceremony, our first tree lighting ceremony.
Yes,
very awesome, very, very cool. So we played games. Yes, very, very nice. We played games, we decorated ornaments, we had treats, we had food. I do plan on, so for those of you guys that don't know, we do actually have 2 Christmas trees. So we have the one that's lit now, then we have the one over in the circle. Does that circle have a name, official name?
Is it Market Circle?
The Market Circle. Yeah, so tree in the Market Circle. We're going to put some decorations over there as well. Hopefully the weather will permit Saturday, but Saturday I will be there decorating that tree as well. So I won't steal Barnhart's thunder, but talking about the coat drive again, I will have a station set up to make the remainder of the ornaments. So if anybody would like to come through to make additional ornaments, I'll be there for probably about a good 2 hours, so that anyone that would like to make an ornament, you guys can make an ornament to go onto the tree.
I just want to add, if you see a blue one with little dots, I made that one.
It was very, very cute.
I really didn't, but I'm going to take credit for it. One of the young ladies who attended the event did, but it was a very nice one. And Public Works did 2 nice ornaments. So
I got to look. Yes, and then lastly, just attending the POC, which is the point of contact meetings for the 20743 Coalition, as well as the official meeting. So we just had a meeting at the Seat Pleasant Town Hall that took place on, I don't have my date again, but that was the last week of December, where we were able to discuss in full detail the presentation that you guys was able to see today. And that will conclude my report.
thank you. Councilwoman Barnhart?
Happy holidays, everyone.
Oh, you need the mic.
I'm loud. I'm already loud. Happy holidays, everyone. for my report, it's going to be short. We can do the,
I know.
okay, we can come back to that. Okay.
It's out of order a little bit.
We won't be out of-
It's a combined meeting, so some of our agenda items are out of order, but we will move forward.
So I met with Parks and Recs, Ms. Shuba, on November, I believe it's like November 25th of last month. We talked about the park right there off Addison and Sheriff Road, about the playground, need replacement or expansion. She told me to reach out to Nikki from Jolene's office, Chair Ivy's team, which is Nikki Greco, for funding request. We talked about expanding the park. The park is fairly new, because I drove to other areas, Greenbelt, Palmer Park, Sea Pleasant, Westfield, you're over there in Capitol Heights, Largo, Colmeyer. They have a new park. It's several other locations have brand new parks that's really, really being renovated, and I wanted our park to be fairly new and renovated as well. They did say our park was fairly new, renovated, but I want to expand the playground area because it's so small and confined. The tennis court is new. The football beams are new as well, but I also want to do something. They took the bleachers down. I wanted to do something with the park far as the field wise, because the field could be utilized for other stuff, other activities for the kids as well, and for the adults in the area, for us our workout sections for them, put up the new benches, and also have a restroom. Because other areas have restrooms. They have a 2-stall men's and women's restroom with a little water fountain. So she told me to reach out to Nikki for that. Also, we wasn't clear of who owned the park for all these years. Unfortunately, they do. Since 1971. Did not know that.
Who owned it before then?
It was used to be a school, old elementary school. Fairmount Heights Elementary School, wasn't it? Yeah, it was an old school that used to be there. So I clarified that. I even asked, are we able to retain that park back to Fairmount Heights? Unfortunately, no. We also talked about the trash at the park. Soccer team has games, events. Football team has practice. A lot of trash is left on the field. No one really has a permit for the fields, first come, first serve. So I'm requesting it be a permit on that field so we actually know who's utilizing that park. Because if somebody is already there utilizing, somebody else come there and add more trash, it's just trash all over the place. So they're going to also have the park police come around and actually look at the park. My next discussion is the trash cans, but we'll come back to that one in the round tables that we were talking about. I have requested, I know the council has received emails from me 2 weeks ago and this week for toys. I'm requesting that the council donate at least 6 toys per council. 3 for girls and 3 for boys. I have already turned mine toys in. Mayor turned her toys in, and I do have some toys from the Public Works Department. They have been turning in their toys. We just need a couple of more. Please make sure you turn your toys in by Friday so we can have that nice luxurious event on Saturday. If need to be, me and Officer Cog here will reach out to the community again like we did last year and pull the kids out the house.
That's
for
what
this
we have
event.
to do then. That's what
We did that
gotta go
last
look
year.
for 'em.
We was
We gotta
knocking
go
on
look for
doors,
'em.
seeing the kids. We was everywhere doing a bullhorn and all that other stuff, reaching out to the kids in the community, having them come to here to get their coats. We had shoes, because we were Abundance Life Ministries. Yeah, we coordinated everything with them. Shoes, toys, clothes, coats, hats, gloves. It was a nice event last year. So we're trying to make it a bigger event this year. That's why I want to add toys to give back to the community. The signs for the children, that was on my January agenda. I was working on that too. And I was also working on, I know y'all been through different communities where y'all see the lamppost and it has a flag attached to it.
Yes.
I'm working on that for next month, trying to get pricing for that. That way, even holiday events, we have flags, even if it says Fairmount Heights, and some of the flags throughout the community, even the holiday events for like Valentine's Day, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm working on trying to find a flagpole for the lamppost so we can add to our collection and beautify our community. And that'll be my report.
They, Ms.
Oh, I'm sorry. Light of the Night event. I scared y'all, I'm sorry. I can't see, so.
It starts now through the 27th.
It starts now to the 27th of December. I'm asking for community participation. I'm also driving through the streets at night, looking at every house on every block, trying to figure out who house is lit up for the night, Light Up the Night contest.
But we are only taking people who register to participate, right?
No, we're not going to do, just a contestant.
I mean,
So
but you have to register to be a contestant.
I'm going to have them register if they want their house on social media. I'd rather do it that way instead of a contestant. So whoever house we choose, they'll sign a waiver. They say, hey, I don't mind if you guys put my house on social media as the winner of the town of Fairmount Heights.
Okay, make sure that step is done.
I got
Okay,
you.
all right,
We did that last year, so.
okay. All right.
And the winner will be finalized January 5th. That's what I have down there,
Yeah.
January 5th. So people in the community, if you go through the neighborhood, you see anything far as house lit up and you think they should be one of the winners, please let us know. Send an email to the town, or you can send me an email at rbarnhart@fairmountheightsmd.gov. And that's
Thank you, Vice Chair.
my
Great report.
report.
All right.
Oh, the fire truck for Saturday. I talked to the chief of the fire department, and he said he's going to try to bring it here for the toy drive, but I have not heard anything from him, but I'm still reaching out to him. When they come around, he said they just do it randomly, they don't know what day. So I'm still working on trying to collect the day of when he's going to do it.
Okay.
He does know it's before Christmas, but what day he does not know.
Okay.
I got you. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to keep my report kind of brief, but I have been attending all the meetings. Madam Clerk, can you pull up the invitation to the Christmas party for the Black Mayor's event? I just emailed you. So the Black Mayor's is having a 70s and 80s theme Christmas party on this Thursday. I purchased a table. It sits 8. I'm opening it up to all the council members. Vice Chair Barnhart, Vice Chair St. John. No, it's this Thursday.
You told us 18.
I did not tell you the 18th. I did not.
You did.
It's this Thursday, but Vice Chair Barnhart, Vice Chair St. John, Council Chair, not Vice Chair, Council Members, St. John, Council Member Waiters said they would go. Council Member Oscar and Councilwoman Downing, it is open to you guys as well if you would like to come. It's this Thursday. It's 70s, 80s theme, and it's a table decorating contest. I thought I had my number one hitter with me here, but it looks like she might be standing me up because she got the wrong date. Oh, okay, no worries. All right, but if anybody else would like to go, I still have if you two don't, if you. Councilman Oscar, would you like to attend? Councilman Oscar, would you like to attend? Yes, no? Okay, so I still have 2 seats open. If anybody would like to go, it's open. What else? Oh, I did attend the the Christmas tree lighting. I took a fall for the town. I would like y'all to know that. The kids cheated. Y'all know I'm super competitive. We played tic-tac-toe, and they cheated. One of them tripped me up. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm still in pain from that, but I enjoyed myself. Thank you, Councilwoman St. John, for putting that together.
Pictures online, not the fall.
The pictures are online, the videos. And I just want to let everybody know, I will be on leave. I will put this in the email, but I will be on leave starting December 14th until the 1st of the year. I will not be accessible by email or by phone. Vice Chair will be in charge, but I will put this in writing to the council and the staff. So she will be in charge, acting in my capacity. And that concludes my report. All right, so let's get down the rest of this agenda. Under new business, Solomon House.
I don't think I presented anything. I did it in my report.
Okay, thank you. The residential parking permit, Mr. Pinckney was going to give us some follow-up information, so we're going to bring that back up in January. I gave him until February, actually, right? Let me go back and look at my notes. I think I gave him until February to come up with a program. No, March. I gave him till March to come up with a program. Okay, trash cans and tables and dollies, we can combine them. I'm gonna hand it over to Vice Chair Barnhart.
Ms. Russell, do you mind pulling up the trash cans that I sent previously, so we can have an idea of what we're looking at and what we want to vote for?
Right. And the premise behind this is that we don't have any trash cans throughout the community. And so people are just throwing their trash. Not that a trash can will prevent people from littering, but at least if there is a trash can, maybe they'll just put it in the trash can versus throwing it on the ground.
So this is our first trash can. We're going to name this trash can number 1. The total estimated amount for this was $2,500. It may cost $3,000 with taxes and fees included. This is one of the trash cans. It's $349.99. For this trash can, we're going to order 10 trash cans throughout the community. As Mayor Stewart mentioned on the other meeting, we just don't want to put it along Eastern and Sheriff Road. We're actually going to put this, or Addison. We're going to actually put this throughout the community. Public Works are working on finding a safe zoning area for these trash cans, especially the high litter areas and throughout the community. This will be trash can number 2.
In areas that won't block pedestrian walkways and that.
Yes. This is trash can number 2. The estimated value for this trash can for 10 of them is $5,800. Roughly about 59 and some change. We can move to number 3. Oh, perfect. This is estimated value at $5,300. So we probably looking at $5,400 for this trash can. Just we want to make a decision today that what trash can will be beneficial for our community. And you can move to trash can number 4. I think that was number 1.
That's number 1. How tall is that trash can?
Ooh. Doesn't say. I don't have this on my paper how tall it was. But most of the trash cans are like 4 feet.
And, okay, so inside of here.
Oh, that's the last trash can. That's estimated as the first one, $2,050. Yeah, they are expensive.
There's one on the corner of K and Cole Street.
Which model is it, do you know?
The second one.
Let's go back to the second one, Ms. Russell.
The recycling bin trash can?
That's expensive.
The first one was fine.
We might need some grant money for this.
I was hoping that we can get it out of the beautification. From the opera, yes, beautification opera fund, since we have $50,000 in there.
We would have to get a contract signed before December 20, the end of this month in order to. Is that one? Okay. Maybe we can reach out to the CDC to see if they would help fund the trash cans.
So you don't want to take it out the opera beautification?
If you can get us a contract signed with whatever selection we make before the end of this month, I don't see an issue with it, but then that would have to be, because we've already reallocated the money to the police, public safety.
Oh, so that money been already allocated, okay. Well, Mr. Rumi, can you?
I'll look into that, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave these with you, so you can get a roundabout how much it
Councilwoman
costs.
Wade.
Somebody purchased the one on K Street, so you should have some kind of documentation.
Councilwoman Waiters.
So my question was, did you saying that they were going to look for the high traffic areas? Ms. Cargill, Mr.
Cradle.
Yeah. So, having said that, and we've already did the ARPA monies. Do you have any type of priority in terms, or has he done that yet?
Mr. Cradle, are you on the line?
Good evening. I'm on the line.
I figured.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead,
Say it
Williams.
again. So, hi, Mr. Cradle. My question was, Vice Chair said that she was, you guys were going to identify high traffic areas or high trash areas, impact areas. And so my question was, in terms of funding, the ARPA funds that she'd identified have been allocated. So my question was, had you did account or identified a priority area? Because alternatively, we were looking at trying to find another funding source. The reason why I'm asking that question is because of Councilmember Oscar's concern with cost also. But if we can't get 10, maybe we can get 2 or 3 in a high impact area.
I mean, 10 sounds good, but it's a lot of high impact areas such as like Paul Liquor Store, Eastern Avenue, and 51st. We pick up trash. We pick up trash in that area all the time. A lot of the adjoining streets off of Eastern Avenue, I think trash cans can be placed.
I was saying she'll pick 2 or 3 to start. I heard you, sir. I was asking a question to, sometimes if you can't do all, you can at least start with 1, 2 or 3.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So maybe we can cut it down to 5, and then we get 5 this FY, and then 5 next FY.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's what I was saying, 5.
Okay.
You asked for 2 or 3, I was like 5, because I'm asking for 10.
We add on as we go.
And what's the cost for 5?
I can get the cost for 5. It'd be less than $2,000 for 5.
Did he say-
Probably
did-
15.
So we might, the town may be able to fund that, and then we look for funding for the other 5.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Can we still want to put a motion on the floor for the trash cans?
CDC and, so does any of this fall under the green team, like grant funding opportunities?
I'm gonna have to look into that, because usually when I apply for funding, it's for a specific reason. But as we talk about trash cans, if you look through C Plus and some others, they have, they're called big bellies. I think those kind of trash.
Yeah, they did a big belly
I
project.
probably could get some special funding for that. And I'll just look at it at your January meeting.
Okay, we
You know
don't
what I'm
get
talking about?
You know what she's talking?
the double ones.
The ones that they
recycling,
installed, yeah, along Addison Road, yeah.
One is recycling, one is trash.
Yes.
And then the guys that.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to reach, I looked at those too, and I didn't want to actually go for that. I was trying to go for something smaller first.
They paid for them, that's what she's saying.
Okay.
It was funded.
Go with that. That's fine.
But that would fit in with the goal and objectives for the green team.
Yep.
For beautification?
Yep.
Repurposing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put that on January's
Agenda.
agenda.
Yep.
Madam Clerk, please put the trash cans on January's agenda
To then identify a funding source.
to identify a funding source. All right.
The next item on the agenda are, okay, so as we was renting out the hall previously for downstairs in the basement, we've noticed several tables being damaged and no one's being held accountable for them. So, I've been asked to look into purchasing new tables. The long tables we can purchase, that wouldn't be a problem, but for events, it's only, will be more productive if we order round tables.
The banquet table.
The banquet tables. So, Ms. Russell, do you mind pulling up the banquet tables online?
And we've talked about this for some time. And we do need additional long tables, what are those tables called? The 8-foot and 6-foot tables, because when we do the food distribution, we
don't have
are
enough tables.
scraping to put tables together. We're borrowing chief's tables from the police department to make sure we have enough tables for the food. And I know he's gonna want them back soon, so.
We can order
Right.
tables for that. That wouldn't be a problem. But these is big cost.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Ms. Russell?
Madam Clerk, can you pull up the banquet table information?
Okay, perfect. I seen that.
Because I'm like, 10:30. Madam Clerk?
Okay, so what I have in my hand is the purchase for the round tables. This purchase can be made from a company. I'll pass this down to all the council to see. For 10 tables from which you've looked at, this will cost $986. Not only are we purchasing 10 round tables, we also purchasing the rack that comes with the table. So I can pass this around. This was for $986. It's for 10 tables and the rack that comes with the tables. Yeah, the storage rack. The school outlet, that don't have much information, but the school outlet also has the round tables, 48 inches, and the rack that comes with it. This total price will be, especially for shipping, is $1,914.81. I will pass this around for the council to look at as well.
Councilwoman St. John?
48 inch, do you know, that's kind of on the smaller end though, so does that only sit 6 people?
That's it, about 6 people. Yeah, 4 to 6, but I'm looking for something that seats more.
Yeah,
So
you
we
want
do
50
sit,
or 60.
if we do go with those, we have to buy probably 15 tables for that basement, since they're so small.
So is this the table you're referring to?
No,
We need to purchase 6 of those, yes.
6 of those, but we're gonna go ahead and purchase those, because it's under the required limit that we have to purchase, $1,000.
Okay.
Can you show the next one? The one that you sent me, as far as the email that you sent in November? November or October?
What was the individual price on that
I forgot. It was $79.
one? Okay, I was just going to you Costco.
Yeah, I was looking at
So
Costco and
that's-
BJ's
okay.
as well. So I have Mr. Cradle going to the store this week to actually purchase some more tables, especially for the event that we have in this weekend. We're gonna need additional tables
Right.
to hold the toys, the clothes, and any additional stuff that we get, especially the food when it's being donated to us.
Yes, because we have 2 broken tables.
Yes. Well, 2.5 broken tables. And then we have the little black tables downstairs that can't stand for nothing.
Oh, yeah, the gray ones. Yeah,
Yes,
they're-
that won't stand for nothing. Those are the tables online. You can barely see the pictures of them, but those are the sheets I'm passing by.
So is this, St. John, from your experience with dealing with the events, are those tables too small? Or
They're
should
too
we-
small.
So we need to probably find the big.
That's why I was looking at the ones today. What you said? 71, 72. Yep, I was looking at those today.
Now, 72 is massive, that's like when you go to the big, like Martin Clausen and stuff, so that's excessive.
So you were 60,
would be perfect.
60? Okay.
You wanted to be-
I did
So
send
what
that
is
to
the-
my email.
What is the 6-table size, a 6-person table size?
This one right here
Yeah.
is only sitting 6 people, you want it to be between like 8 to 10.
It was 8 to 10.
8 to 10, yep.
And what is the size of those tables? So I'm-
48.
60 inch,
60
okay.
inch.
And what do you
It's
have?
48.
Okay, so we need to get the information on a 48, a
60,
60 inch.
yeah.
Okay,
That's what I was looking at today when I was texting you, sending emails back and forth.
okay.
That I was looking at that, and then when you referenced her email, talked about her email, I seen this, and I was like, that may be too small, but I go with
So
it.
we have to get additional information before we can put this motion, okay.
Yep.
All right. So.
So that'll be
January?
January meeting. I have all that information for y'all so we can move forward. I did send it to my email, so that's fine.
Okay, all right. But they will purchase the banquet tables for us
Yes.
for this weekend?
Yep.
Okay,
We can
Thank
go ahead and
you.
purchase those.
all right.
You mean the photo?
The folded ones.
Folding up banquet,
Yep.
yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, can I get my paper back, please?
All right. So we're gonna move down the agenda, to public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have anybody that signed up to give a public comment?
We have one person who signed up online, Martez Barnhart.
Okay, Mr. Barnhart, you have the floor for public comment.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
We can hear you.
Okay. My question is, what is the purpose for the drone program in the town, and who will be operating it?
So The drone is for inspections of yards that we may not necessarily be able to see because of their gate or the state of the property. And Mr. Cradle is already licensed to operate a drone, so that's who would be operating it.
So has this been rolled out to the community, so the community be informed of that?
It has not. I just created the legislation for it. It is under attorney review, and then we will have a public meeting about the drone.
Okay. So just for clarity, the Citizen Association did contact the FAA about drone flying. And I know that doing FOIA requests in the past, we know that Mr. Cradle is somewhat licensed to fly a drone. We've seen a receipt, but not an actual certification. And we talking about this is the municipality. So when we reached out to MML about it, MML said that this thing has to be something through the state and through Prince George's County. So I know you guys say you're going through your attorney, so I'm just going to advise you that it has to be something that's by the law and not something that's done online. Because in the past, like I said, the FOIA request that we had filed was given back that Mr. Cradle has a certificate, but it's like a receipt. It's not an actual certificate.
Okay, if we can't use Mr. Cradle, then we'll hire a outside licensed vendor to operate a drone in the community.
Yeah, because that way you can make sure that whoever is operating the drone, because there's a lot of privacy acts involved with that, because there's cameras on there, and if you're using the camera to go in people's yards, so background checks and things like that should be done as well.
Exactly, we understand that, and that's why I'm having an attorney review it and give us his input on the program.
Okay, thank you.
All right, was that your only comment?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you.
Via GPS.
Satellite, yeah.
Is you still can look on other people's property?
So,
There's no difference.
okay.
But we will, attorney
I
will
mean, I
advise
understand
us
it's new.
what
I
the
just, I
legal
do understand it's
ramifications
new.
are.
I do.
Right.
But if we don't have that, we're still doing satellite. It's still,
Everything we're gonna do is gonna be above.
no, sir, I'm not saying we, like we.
As a town.
No,
We're
no,
gonna
no.
make sure- You mean public works, code enforcement?
No,
Yeah.
sir, what I'm saying is if we don't implement a drone program, it is still
Yes.
implemented
Yes.
that yards are monitored via
Yes.
satellite,
Yes.
Yes.
GPS satellite,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So they're already looking in people's yards.
Correct. And if we want to just look on Google and zoom in, we can do that right now with no issue.
And take a picture and file a citation on, yeah,
Yeah.
The only difference is sometimes with the Google stuff,
it's a little
it's a
lag.
little delayed or whatever. If you have a drone, you can get it up and find out what's going on now. I can tell you right now, somebody's operating a
Drone.
automotive company in their backyard. But legally, we cannot just barge in somebody's backyard. So until we get everything in order, what we need to have, it's going to come to light soon. Sooner or later, we'll find it. But in the midst of that, everything that we're going to do in reference to that whole drone program and anything we can help from the police department side, because they're going to contact the police department about it. We'll be above board, and all the information will be out for the Citizens Association, and whoever else wants the information. So no issues.
Yeah. I also asked that because recently I saw, I don't know if anyone else saw it or not, but there's usually when they start changing mappings or GPS satellites, there's it's like a tag reader. There's a vehicle that comes around and it just drives up and down
That's correct.
the street around the neighborhood.
That's correct.
It's been here
That's
to,
correct.
like
Yeah.
last week and the week before
That's
that.
correct.
It's been around here,
That's correct.
here Steve Pleasant. It's been around in this area.
And,
That's correct.
and we didn't sign any privacy statements with them.
Yeah.
They ride around and get your address,
Right.
and then they post it for their driving apps, for their Google Maps. They do it for all of that.
But listen, this program is not to invade on anybody's space. Most police departments in this country use drones now
Right.
to stop crime and stuff like that. So the purposes of getting up, instead of putting a body up on the roof so you can see if it's flooding or not, or if a tree needs to come down, those are the main purposes of using the drone. It's not to invade on anybody's space. But if there's something illegal going on or something against the town ordinances or code, then I think that you guys should continue what you're doing, get some input from the community, come to a conclusion, and then move forward.
Right. Thank you, Chief. So
I'm coming with the I suggest that,
nobody can hear y'all. Nobody heard what Chief said. Nobody's hearing what you're saying. Huh? Oh, they heard, okay.
okay, I can do that. Okay, I'm suggesting that we submit anything, and I'm sure our attorney will do this, that the local government insurance trust,
Legit.
they insure your risk. They're gonna have to review this.
We understand.
Okay. Well, I just haven't heard it say, so that's where that needs to go.
Okay. I'm gonna let once the attorney gives it back to us, then we'll send it to Legit.
Right.
And then after Legit, we'll do the public hearings.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Are there, Mr. Gray?
Yes, on some of the drone opportunity, they have a policeman with it. It just depends on which space they're
Right.
going over houses and stuff like that. You usually have to have a policeman with it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gray, for your input. I appreciate that. All right. So are there any questions online?
Yeah. Okay. First question, what is the status of community assistance? One, is it being suggested that community assistance be diverted to salary?
So Community Assistance 1 was assigned to former Councilwoman Wood Dawson. She had the program for approximately 4 months and did nothing, and then came back and told us she couldn't do it. So, and no other council member wanted to pick up that program. So we are reallocating it to public safety and a portion of it to public works to purchase additional equipment and to, and for salaries to hire 1 additional public works employee and 1 additional police officer.
And I'd like you to comment.
It's public participation now at this point. So,
Well, I am public safety, and you're talking about reallocating the funds to my committee.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah, Councilwoman. So this is public comment time now. I'm answering the questions.
We already talked about reallocating the funds to her. No,
And you
to
voted
public
against
safety.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Right,
we
but,
should take it into
okay, so let me
discussion,
finish with
public
these
participation.
questions.
all right, I'll make my comment
It's
now.
it's public participation. Go, scroll down, what's the next one?
Okay. Next question. Okay, this is a comment, not a question. Part of the issue is that the events aren't being sent out to the community. I have repeatedly shared that flyers aren't being distributed at least to my block and several of the surrounding blocks. This is a years-long repeated issue.
All right, so we're going to discontinue with the flyers because nobody's reading them, they're getting blown away. It's taxing our copier machine. So we're going to send out 1 last flyer before the end of this year to let everybody know to either come to the town's website, follow us on social media to get all your information about the upcoming events. The front doors here in the town. We're going to discontinue the flyers, and then once the digital board is up, that'll be another resource you can look and find out what's going on in the community.
All right, we have already heard from Mr. Barnhart in regards to the drone.
What's the status of the communication survey?
Yeah.
We started that process, and we found that people were not opening their doors. So we discontinued that, and we're looking into sending out a mailer. Maybe we can send out the mailer as a flyer to say we are no longer sending out flyers. And here's how you can find out all the information going on in and around the community.
Instagram and Facebook.
Right. That will be our next step. How was the light contest shared in the community? That was a flyer, and again, it's all over the town website and social media pages.
Each meeting.
And I believe it's on the channel, TV channel. Okay. There's a heavy, okay. We understand. We're working out those technical difficulties. Okay, that's a statement. Keep going. The street light is out on 61st Avenue between 708 and 710. Please advise. There is a street sign number, street pole number on the pole. Please get that information and call the town hall.
They can call me.
They can call and ask for Mr. Rumi. She can work with Pepco to get that light fixed. We just need the pole number.
They can actually, Madam Mayor, make the phone call. My neighbor asked.
Was it? No, Councilwoman Leftwich never agreed to do the program. Initially, it was, who was it?
It was her.
It was her, and she stepped down, and Councilwoman Downing, I'm sorry, former Councilwoman Wood Dodson stepped up and said she would do it, and then it never went anywhere with that program.
Can I answer that now?
No, I can answer it for you because I.
No, you don't, see,
I can answer.
why do you
All right,
allow her to keep interrupting me like that?
this is not
Why do you
open.
allow her to keep interrupting me?
Order.
Who's the mayor? Is she the mayor?
Order.
You keep letting her.
Order. Any more questions?
That was the last question.
I hope I've answered everyone's question. I believe we've already addressed the announcements already.
I'm sorry, there was another comment.
The flyers.
I'm not sure what.
The flyers in reference to, ma'am? It says,
Oh, yep, we can.
she said unmute your, okay.
I mean, she should be able to.
You can't do it from your computer, ma'am?
Yes, I was able to undo it. So my question about the flyers, you have seniors who live in the area who don't do Instagram, Facebook, or that kind of thing. Is it a way that you could find out what residents use those flyers? Because I know with the trash collection and stuff like that, it's very helpful for us.
Okay, so on that last flyer that we will send out, we will ask that if you still require a flyer, to call the town and sign up, and then those flyers will be delivered to those individuals only.
That's excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? Okay.
For the record, I'd like to state that Councilwoman Wood Dodson has the program. Her and I began to work on it when I came onto the council. At that point, I asked for a signed resolution, but I never was able to receive one. Were you ever able to get a signed resolution from when you all started disseminating the ARPA program?
No, we were not, but we will have one for you.
And when when we all went to MML, we all attended the ethics training. And the ethics training told us that before we start sending out, disseminating that ARPA money, we need to go through our ethics commission for the town of Fairmount Heights. When I joined, I thought that we were going to have an ethics commission.
We're working on that.
And so spending that money, it should not be done without going through that committee. And that's why I vote no on spending of those ARPA funds.
Thank you for your public comment. All right, so if there are no more comments, questions, or concern, I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion for adjournment of the meeting.
Can I get a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a good night, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Chief, what is this?